coming hot off the press. Anybody that's watching this video, I have my Iowa t-shirt on because the women basketball team is about to play the women's South Carolina basketball team for the national championship. The John Jay High School team, they did some training that multiple people have sent to me. I was not going to comment on it, but now I am because the number of people have sent it to me. To the athletic director, I will research and find out what school you are. Right now, I have done some arbitrary research and I've come across multiple schools. I want to make sure I find the right one. To you, the athletic director, I will personally be reaching out to offer a free clinic to talk to you and all of the coaches about why this is negligent, how to fix it, and how to make sure it never happens again. We'll cover stuff training in the weight room, we'll cover speed work, we'll cover agility, we'll cover conditioning, all of it to make sure that this never happens again. So again, I will be reaching out to make sure that this never happens again. But let's react to this video because, as I said, it's kind of taken strength and conditioning social media by storm. It starts off here by the fact that these kids, they're all on like a cadence where they have to pick the bar up, and then because this is showing discipline. I don't understand why when athletes are training in the off season, that's the time where we're learning discipline. Shouldn't you be learning discipline all the time when you're at practice, when you're in the classroom? And I'm not saying how you do anything is how you do everything, but if you want to learn discipline, why don't you show up to class on time? Why don't you do all of these things? So let's not act that having kids deadlift a bar at the same time on a cadence teaches them to be tough. Then, first of all, let's talk about the fact that they're outside doing an Olympic lift on grass that has clearly been worn down. So that's not a good footing to actually be learning to apply force into the ground to run faster and jump higher. It's not. I don't know why they're doing this. Let's talk about the negligence here about the safety issue. When you are designing a weight room, you should be having an Olympic lifting platform that allows for the athlete to safely bail if they need to miss. So let's talk about the clean. When the bar is in front of them, if the athlete cannot catch the bar in a front squat position or a front rack position, they should be able to push the bar forward, they go backwards, and safely nobody gets hurt. Well, in this example, you have 7 athletes in a line right here. Negligent. They are not far enough away from each other. So if one of the athletes in the middle, Lord forbid, has to bail and push the bar forward, they're pushing the bar into one of their teammates. Now they are going backwards. They're either going to run into one of their teammates. That might force the barbell to land on them. And imagine if that barbell or the weight hits on somebody's head or their face. That's that in and of itself should be one of the things that makes most people most upset. And to the athletic director of the school, that is what you should be most concerned about with the safety of it on the clean. Now let's talk about the jerk. When the bar is going overhead, we are taught to teach our athletes that if the bar is going too far backwards, you let the bar go and you go forward so the bar can safely hit the ground. Again, that cannot happen right now when you have these 7 athletes so close together. If one of these athletes misses a jerk and has to let the bar go backwards, they're going to slam it into one of their teammates behind them. The bar might hit their teammate's foot and break their foot. It might hit the athlete. It might hit I don't even want to dive into how unsafe it is if that athlete has to let the bar go backwards, let alone if they have to push the bar forward overhead and they have to bail backwards, because that is what they should safely be able to do in a weight room with a platform that specifically designates their safe area to be lifting. So right there, those are your 3 examples of why this is negligent and unsafe. And again, Mr. Athletic Director, Mrs. Athletic Director, I will be reaching out so I can help you in a free clinic to make sure that this never happens again. So that's just the safety part of it with the barbells. Let's again talk about the safety part, that they're lifting on grass. It's not even. You're lifting on uneven grass, lifting a bar overhead in a condensed area. So again, what if somebody trips? Now they're going to trip, fall backwards into somebody and get hurt there. So there's issue number 4. They're cleaning and jerking and jogging in place. All right, I'm going to say that again. They're cleaning and jerking and jogging in place. To the strength coaches that have been taught, if you were at Iowa like I was, or you've probably been taught that when you do an Olympic lift, it's ground-based power. The more force you apply into the ground, the higher you jump, the faster you run. Or that's what I had been taught, and I'm sure a lot of you have been taught the same. This is not enough weight for these athletes to apply force into the ground so that way they can run faster and jump high. This is kind of like what people would call a metcon, because it's conditioning, because it's not enough weight where they're actually forcing their body to adapt to a heavy weight. Because look, if you're trying to lift weight, and I don't want to overly dive into the science of it because I know I'm speaking to strength coaches, you know that this isn't enough specific adaptation to the imposed demand to get athletes actually strong. They're not lifting heavy enough of a weight. They're muscling a clean into an overhead jerk while running in place. The biggest thing that I'm sure most strength coaches see is low back. The chance of a low back feeling smoked when they're doing this. And I don't want to hear a sport coach and I don't want to hear somebody say, oh, well, their low back can get hurt when they're playing their sport. You're right. To quote Mike Boyle, a quarterback can get blindsided in a game. Why don't they allow a quarterback to just get hit by a baseball bat or get smoked blindside in practice to prepare them for it? Because you know it's negligent and it's not appropriate. So these kids to be doing a clean and jerk in place while running in place. Let's play this video again for like, are you kidding me? And then the other teammates are supposed to be cheering and clapping their teammates on. Why? If I'm like, and to say ready, like again, that doesn't show discipline. That these kids don't pick up the bar until they're actually ready, because they're all going to do it together. Like they're uniformly doing something that is so inappropriate. I don't know who Dave Campbell Texas football is, but I'll reach out to you too. Like this is not clean. This is not good safety. This is not good training. So you want to talk? So I think we've beat a dead horse. And like, look, there's not enough weight to actually force the adaptation of getting more powerful by doing a clean and jerk when it's so light that they're running in place. Then let's talk about the fact that when they're running in place, why? Like, why are you doing that? Are you like, if you wanted to do some of Louis Simmons's marching in place for GPP, you could do sled marches. You could do marches on your belt squat, right? But like, you could march with a bar on your back in the weight room, but do it in a safe manner, not this. If you want to work on somebody to actually, like, if you want to do high knees, you do high knees as part of your warm up. If you want to work on sprinting, but don't just combine all of this together. You want to do something difficult, do a difficult circuit and build up to it. So if you want to make a really high lactic bath, difficult training session, which let's not even get into the fact that that's not what happens. Football plays don't last for 40 seconds, blah, 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 blah. Even at that, if you want to do a difficult, a suck training session, we've talked about the tribe test before. Do the tribe test. Now, you want to do it to actually be measuring how powerful and what condition the athletes are in, but go ahead and run 12 reps at maximal speed, 5 seconds on, 25 seconds off, and tell me that that's not a suck session. It is a suck session. I've done it. To the strength coaches out there that have not done it, that will right there will be a little bit more of a difficult training session, and that'll give you your mental toughness, train and do hard things together. Yes, we talked with BK about this on Friday. Doing hard things build resiliency as a team. You know what's difficult? Showing up to training on time, doing the difficult lifting of lifting 90%, 80% for difficult number of reps. So if you had 80% on for 6 reps, that's going to be really, really hard. And then to show up and do speed work beforehand or conditioning afterwards. That is difficult. That is grueling, difficult training done over time. All right, so I think I've beat this horse to death. This is so inappropriate. You don't need to be doing it. It is negligence at its finest. Mr. or Mrs. Athletic Director from John Jay High School, I will be getting in touch with you to make sure that things like this never happen again. I will provide a free clinic, comprehensive design on plyos, sprint work, agility work, conditioning, lifting to, again, make sure that none of this ever happens again. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.
Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Why don't you celebrate by watching more videos just like it? You can also help us on our quest to placate the algorithm gods by liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you.